Good evening to you all. Tonight I'm going to share with you some great insights from my amazing book I've been writing. I'm also going to share with you some great insights from James Allen's book. Mine is the master. It's a completion of 19 different books within this thick book, which I received a couple days ago. And I'm also going to teach you some great lessons. I'm going to tell you some amazing lessons I've learned in the last couple of days. Before I start, I want to share with you a little surprise. I'm going to play for you on my amazing guitar. I've done this in a while. This is a song I've heard a couple of days ago, and I really loved it. I reinterpreted the words. It goes as follows. With every gathering of the master is to be found. At every gathering of the master, the master is to be found. Every gathering of the master is found. If the master is found, the master is found. The master is found. If the master is found, the master is found. Then there are no more subordinates. Every gathering of the master and the student, the master is found. At every gathering of the master and student, the master is found. What is the point of the song? You must be wondering. Master, student, subordinate. What's going on? What is the point of this song? Allow me to explain. Listen closely. When you find that master inside of you, when you configure that God reigns over you, God lives inside of you, God breathes through you, God expresses himself through you. You're a godly being. You're a powerful godly being. When you come to that realization, you have become a master. And nobody could undermine you thereafter. It's a powerful song. It originates from a Jewish singer who's called Yehuda Green, who actually sings the song with Yiddish words in reference to a rapper and Hasidim. I changed the words a little bit because I like to bring things to reality, to allow things to manifest and to become meaningful in the process and drive the meaning home as well. I'm going to carry on and read an amazing passage to you from this thick book. You want to know how many pages are in here? There are a total of 860 pages. One of the books in here is actually As a Man Thinketh. Just one of the 19 books in here. Listen to the story. I love stories, and I'm sure you do too. Everybody loves stories. So let's get on with this amazing story I saw in this book. Listen closely. I knew a child who every night, by the way, this is being read from James Allen's book. And it's a completion of 19 books, but it's the first book. It's the first book in the series of 19 books, which is called From Poverty to Power. Listen to the story. I knew a child who every night, when its mother took it to bed, cried to be allowed to play with the candle. And one night, when the mother was off guard for a moment, the child took hold of the candle. The inevitable result followed. And the child never wished to play with the candle again. By its one foolish act, it learned and learned perfectly the lesson of obedience and entered into the knowledge that fire burns. And this incident is a complete illustration of the nature, meaning, and ultimate result of all sin and evil. As the child suffered through its own ignorance of the real nature of fire, so all the children suffer through their ignorance of the real nature of the things which they weep for and strive after which harm them when they are secured. The only difference being that in the latter case, the ignorant and evil are more deeply rooted and obscure. Evil has always been symbolized by darkness and good by night, and hidden within the symbol is contained the perfect interpretation, the reality. For just as light always floods the universe and darkness is only a mere speck of shadow cast by a small body intercepting a few rays of the illimitable light, so the light of the supreme good. When night folds the world in its black, impenetrable mantle, it covers but the small space of half our little planet. The dark shadow that covers you is cast by none and nothing but yourself. Why pass through the darkness of evil at all? Because by ignorance you have chosen to do so. By doing so, appreciate the light by having passed through the darkness. But a disobedient child refuses to learn its lessons at school. So it's possible to refuse to learn the lessons of experience. A man may shut himself up in a dark room, deny the light that exists. But the light is everywhere. And darkness exists only in his own little room. I skipped around a little bit, but I want to drive the point home that we create the light in our lives. We create the darkness in our lives. We could choose to play with fire. It's up to us. We could choose negativity over positivity. Have a negative mental attitude over a positive mental attitude. And the results never fail to come thereafter. I want to read out to you a powerful point I wrote in my book a couple of days ago. It's scary. Are you ready? Put on that seatbelt. This is going to be a little scary. I am writing here about shortly after the period I left my children to save my life. And I'm describing what it was like, what I was experiencing, Shocking. I got a text on my family-run online support group notifying everyone in the family to say psalms for my son. He broke his arm and his wrist whilst playing football. I felt distraught. I wasn't aware of it happening prior. I knew that my sister, who had been notified via my ex, posted it. Why was she so insensitive? Why didn't she tell me first? Okay, I know why. Transgender. When you defy every part of someone's security blanket, your feelings, your pain, your anxiety, your suffering, none of that is real anymore. It pains me to make this comparison, and forgive me in advance for doing so. I just cannot think of another way to describe it. But the period of the Holocaust comes to mind. Jewish pain, Jewish suffering, Jewish anxiety, Jewish frustration meant nothing to the Nazis. And when the Nazis were later asked, how could it be so? They explained, we didn't see them as if they were humans like us. I felt the same. I simply wasn't human anymore. The comparison to the Holocaust isn't justified, but there was a commonality. From the indirect to the direct threats made to my life, I could say with absolute certainty that my survival is nothing short of a miracle. I'm extremely strong to have survived hate from so many different people, including those close to me. I remember my parents describing to me a conversation they had 6 months after I left my children. What was that conversation like? My ex-sister-in-law turned to them and said, please take your child back to America with you. We really don't want your child here. Please, we don't need his presence in this country. Blatant and abrupt, she was. And this was a person who was usually very tactful, patient, and thoughtful. My parents reacted, we don't want our child either. We do not want our child in America either. No, thank you. I want to point out my parents are lovely people, but this is just what happened. I remember feeling at the time, wow, this is similar to what the Jews must have felt like during the years of the pre-Holocaust era. And during the Holocaust, no country wanted them. They were like unwanted baggage. I also reminisce watching a documentary on the Holocaust when I was 15 years old, and this is how it was described. I remember the shock I felt at the time. Thus far, I haven't even touched the tip of the iceberg. But I want to point out that I am glad to have seen so much hate in my life. None of it was personal. Why? It gave me the ability to appreciate my own light. It gave me the ability to turn around and say, I will decide where I will live. I will decide my destiny. I don't need a single person to like me. I don't need a single person to recognize me. And I don't need a single person to acknowledge my right to exist and to survive and not die. I had the audacity to like myself, the chutzpah, the audaciousness to survive despite the pettiness, the hate, the insecurities, the fears, the phobias people barely ever got to explore. The people who expressed those phobias around me ever got to explore. I had over 30 years to explore the ins and outs of standing between that fence of gender. Why I expected other people to get it so quickly, I don't know. That's in my book. It's a powerful piece. It's pretty scary. It's pretty scary when you're just not wanted. You're that rejected, abandoned individual. I can't help but quote an amazing quote, which I have here hanging on my wall, which reads, and this is from Napoleon Hill: every adversity, every failure, and every heartache carries with it the seed of an equivalent or a greater benefit. Wow. Yeah, that's my message tonight. Jewish people are going to be celebrating the festival of Shavuot in a couple of days' time. It's a time of celebration, a time of unity with God upon the receipt of the Bible. There are a lot of hidden messages in the Bible, a lot of depth to it. And there have been a lot of people over the ages that have misinterpreted parts of the Bible in order to hurt others. That's what tends to happen, unfortunately. But we could take our own life by its horns and choose to live a life, choose life. As King David said in Psalms, who is a wise person? The one who chooses life. It's pretty meaningful if you think about it. That's my message today. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I appreciate your great comments and I look forward to seeing more comments. Thanks so much, Michael, for your great insights. Mike, for your great insights and your great ideas. I'm very grateful, Mike. And I'm ever so grateful for all the amazing commenters. And I like to look back at previous videos, and I was quite excited to see that my video on Parallel Universe has gotten over 70 likes, and I think we're close to 40 comments there, which is pretty awesome and cool. And the actual video itself, we're getting close to 4,000 views, which is pretty awesome and amazing. I never expected that kind of thing. So it's cool. When you don't expect something and you receive it, a nice gift, feels amazing. That's my message tonight. I look forward to your amazing insights, feedback in the comment section down below. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. I share great insights. I'm a great teacher. I look forward to your great insights and great feedback on this point and on many other points. If you don't think I'm a good teacher, that's your opinion. Not to worry, all in good faith. Have a good night. I love you so much.